Thanks.
I don't know why you just told me it looked ugly, but that's just not nice.
I didn't say ugly. I said bad.
Ugly.
Slight difference there.
Don't let him talk to you like that, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, that's inappropriate.
Yikes. That is extremely close.
Speaking of being inappropriate, comes naturally. We are
Mike.
I am Cody. Today we're joined by
Taj.
There was the gap of nobody saying anything because Joe's not here.
Joe's dead. He's not dead. He's just sick.
Whoa, bud. Whoa, bud. Whoa, bud.
I took it back real fast.
Yikes.
He's not dead.
Yikes. Yikes.
So we're talking about being inappropriate. And 2020 is on its way fucking out. So I figured, kill him off with 2020.
Yo, Todd, speaking of which, did you see MF Doom died?
Yeah, I saw that shit.
Did you see when?
No.
Halloween.
What?
Dude's been dead for 2 months.
We're just finding out?
Yeah.
That's almost 3 months. What the fuck?
Bruh. It's not almost 3 months. It's literally 2 months.
Well, no, it's just shy of 2 months, right? My math.
No.
Well, Halloween's the 31st, right?
And today is the...
And so, today is... Oh, shit. It is the 31st, isn't it?
2 months. Literally 2 months.
Jesus. I quit. I'm out. See you guys. Nice knowing you.
Well, 2020 takes another one. He's a brave soul. He lasted a little bit longer than I expected.
Not too brave. I can't even fucking count.
Nope. It's all right. You don't do math for work or anything.
I really don't, thankfully. But
that's what I'm saying. So, Mike, do you not want to talk about Wonder Woman?
No, we can.
Mike said no. We're not doing it.
Okay, because we're not doing it. All right, cool.
You asked if I was ready. I said, nah.
Mike's just not feeling it. I don't know why.
I'm ready now. Let's do it.
Too late. We ain't doing it.
Wait,
are we doing it or not doing it?
Yeah.
Mike said no.
We gotta talk about it for a second, right? That was the big...
2 seconds?
We only had 3 movie releases this year, so...
3?
3? I got 2. I don't know which
got Tenet,
Tenet,
Synchronic, Sonic the Hedgehog, Invisible Man,
yeah,
Wonder Woman. That's at least 5 I can think of at the top of my head.
Dang.
Yeah, remember the first portion of the year wasn't awful.
Oh, until everyone shut down, and then people were like, "Oh, that's it. That's all we got, kids."
Yeah. Then they played the fucking end credits on fucking Looney Tunes. Porky Pig came out. That's all, folks.
Yep.
Wrapped up the entire year. Early.
See you guys in a couple
years.
Yep. Anyhow, so what do we think? What, Mike? Let's talk about this.
Not so wondrous, woman.
I am as I was watching it, I was like, oh man, people aren't gonna like this. Like as I was watching it, but I didn't think they're gonna hate it as much as they did. As it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't fucking horrendous like the internet would lead you to believe. I thought they tried something, and it was a swing and a miss. But I actually kind of think it was kind of cool that they tried it because, at least I don't know if this is like a real thing. But as I was watching it, it kind of dawned on me that they were trying to make a 80s movie, not a movie set in the 80s, but an 80s movie. Like if the 80s had our technology now, this is the version of a superhero movie we would have gotten. And I thought it was kind of a liking it back to like Donner's Superman. You know what I mean? Like I got a lot of those vibes to it. So I kind of thought it was a lot of homage to Superman 1 and then even the Donner cut of Superman 2. Because it was like it was like one of those hopeful, like inspiring, everything's gonna be all right, do the right thing kind of movies, which I think is, like I said, is what they would have made in the 80s. but today I think everyone just cynically took it as hokey and corny. So, and I think if somebody had said, and like I said, I could be wrong about this, but I think if somebody had mentioned like what they were trying to do, like making a '80s superhero movie, I think the hate would have been a little bit less. I think people would have been rightfully confused as to why they would do that. But I actually I didn't hate the movie at all. I wasn't like upset with watching it, mainly because like Pedro Pascal's fun, you know, Gal Gadot, like the performances are fun in it. But yeah, like the story and the ending, just plays. I think Massly is just kind of understood as like corny and hokey and lazy now, but I don't. I think that they were trying to go for something like almost an experiment that didn't really pan out. At least I think. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's what was going on there. Does that make any sense to you?
It makes sense, and I can kind of see that. I didn't hate the movie either. It just wasn't good. Like you said, the performances were good, but the story just really fell short for me. The story was just not what I was hoping for, nor was it all that good. It was almost like an episode of G.I. Joe. And I know that we've referenced some of that before just amongst us, but it just was, it fell apart real easily. And that was a little unfortunate because it's such, you know, the IP is obviously there's a lot of content that they could have gone with. There's obviously a great foundation, especially since the first Wonder Woman was so good. I feel like this could have gone a lot better. Like, if I had to rank the most recent 80s, quote-unquote 80s movies, even Captain Marvel was better than this, and that's hurtful. Story-wise, I think it was.
I think Captain Marvel was the biggest letdown superhero movie I've ever seen.
To me, the story was better, and the performances of Wonder Woman were better, but the story of Captain Marvel was better. And it was an origin story, but it was an 80s origin story, and I kind of enjoyed that a little bit better than I enjoyed this one.
It was a 90s one, by the way.
You're right.
I know.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Shut up.
Okay, I'm sorry. That came out more conceited than it should have. I'm sorry.
I think it was exactly where you meant it to be.
It was exactly what, but I didn't mean it to be that way. It just was that way. And I'm sorry about that.
Cody.
Yeah. Sometimes my true nature slips out, even though I try to turn it down a little bit.
I don't think you ever try and turn it down, though.
I do. I try to turn it down. Just not very good at it.
It's awful.
That filter is just super broken.
Not as awful as that story. Moving on.
Haha! It was a really bad story. And I talked a little bit about this to Joe at work the other day. My biggest issue with it is the story. Well, and this wonky CG every now and then, because there's some pretty rough CG throughout this movie. Noodle people all the time. Complete and utter wire work done.
Where it didn't need to be.
It just, I mean, I get it. Like, wire work is cheaper than CGing somebody, but like, this day and age, that wire work was real rough. And maybe it was they're trying to go for an 80s aesthetic, but apparently that superheroes had wire work physics in the 80s and not so much in the 2000s.
Did we, like... I haven't watched a real 80s movie in a while. Or an 80s show in a while, so I don't know that I can say, you know, I can recall what the wire work was like. But was it that bad?
Yeah. The one that got me though, the number one wire-ish work was spoiler: the fight between at the end of the fight between Wonder Woman and Cheetah is she pulls her out of the water. Somehow she jettisons out of the water. And then she's getting close to the ground. Instead of doing a superhero landing, she glides.
Yeah, it slows down.
Like in her, like literally, she stops in air. Like her body completely freezes in a position, and she lands. And I was like,
and she had not yet learned to fly.
Well, she doesn't actually fly, even in this movie. She learns how to glide.
She learns how to glide, yeah.
Yeah, like she doesn't have propulsion other than using the lasso to grab a hold of stuff and then propel herself, and then using her body to manipulate the wind like she's she's gliding. She's just graceful gliding. And I get it. That's cool. It's awesome. I liked a lot of aspects. I like how she created the invisible jet, which I thought was really clever.
I think that the story behind it was perfect.
Yeah, like she even said, like, this is how her father created Themyscira and hid it from the world. Okay, cool, I get it. I've only done it once before. I thought that joke was hilarious. And he's like, I did it to a coffee mug and I couldn't find it again.
Still can't find it.
Yeah, like that's a really funny joke for an invisible thing. That's just funny. It just, the story was just, and Mike knows this too. I'm not one to need to be hand-fed things about stories. Like, I'm completely and utterly okay with figuring things out and making logical steps. But there are 3 things in this that I didn't understand. Okay? Number 1, why, when she wished Steve to come back, did he take over someone else's body?
Yeah, that was weird.
Was it just to set up the scene at the end when she meets him again? Because it doesn't matter, because guess what? She can't be with him either for the same reason she couldn't be with Steve. Because he's mortal, and as she doesn't age as quickly as he does, he will grow old and die before she does. Plus, he's a squishy human being, unlike someone like, say, a Superman, where if someone ever to find out who she was, he would be a main target, and he would be very, very easy to kill compared to her. So that's my number 1 issue. Why he replaced somebody in their body when no one else seemed to have that kind of issue with their wish. Now, the one thing I'll say about this, and this could be the defending of it, I do not know what her wish was. We can assume her wish was she wanted Steve back. Now, I don't know is I want Steve back, but in someone else's body. Was that her wish?
I don't think that was her wish. I think it's an educated guess to say that was not her wish.
Okay, so then I don't know. The next issue I have is, how does nobody know that she's? I get it. It's in the 80s, so no one has like cell phones. But like when she's at the mall and she's dispatching those robbers, she's already done things and been seen by people. But then she takes the tiara off and throws it, and it breaks all the cameras. Like that's going to erase the tapes. Those are recording somewhere else. Those are CC cameras, you know what I mean? Like they're being recorded. She's now, if those see anything, they're going to see it. Now, if she ran real fast and moved real quickly and she couldn't be seen on camera, I would be okay with them showing a shot of like the CC camera with just a blur, like a static blur. I'm fine with it. But her destroying the cameras make no sense because they don't house the video in the cameras. So it makes no sense to me to have that in there. Okay. And number 3 is how does Cheetah become Cheetah if her wish was to be like Diana? I mean, obviously Pascal somehow, yeah, and like somehow Max Lord, as he's known, not Mando or Din or whatever you want to call him, obviously granted her those abilities, right? But it seems like most of the wishes were so vague and can be taken out of context that hers was so deliberate. You know what I mean?
Well, Cheetah was her second wish, though.
She can't have a second wish. Everybody gets one. That's what Peter Parker told me.
Well, he even said, "I'm feeling generous." Like that's what the whole conversation leading up to that was. And she's like, "I don't want to be like anybody else anymore. I want to be an apex predator."
Yeah, and I get that, but I don't think it was actually a second wish. I think he granted that to her when he was granting wishes for everybody else, because there's always that give and take.
Yeah.
So he was giving stuff and he was taking stuff, and I think that's when he granted her those abilities, because she didn't change until after he started taking those wishes. Because like everything else, it happens instantly.
But isn't the premise of it that he is a wish granter, therefore he doesn't have any other abilities?
He's a wish granter, yes. He is the stone, but the stone itself inherently has a give and take.
So then how could he have given a second?
He didn't give her a second. He wished. He took something, as someone made another wish, a new wish. He then took He gave him that and then took something else, because you could hear him saying, "I want your health, I want your strength," and he says something about her, and I want her to this or whatever. So I'm thinking that's, again, it's one of those things where like they didn't really explain it, and I kind of want to know if that's what it was or not. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems shitty to me that they would do that. But also she was so happy that she would have never given up that ability. Like, she wouldn't have recanted her wish. They tried to, like, not let us hear it, like her say it. But there's other things too. I had issues, like, was Wonder Woman actually able to hear people talking through the satellite thing
at the end?
Yeah, and how was she able to talk to them if she destroyed the camera? How was he able to still talk to them if they destroyed the camera? Like, obviously them making wishes to him, he can hear it because, like, they're wishing on him, right? But, like, with her, how, like, if she just started talking out loud, even though it's through the lasso of truth, does that allow her to start talking to them as well? I don't know. It just seemed like there was a lot of, like, nonsense in it for me, and I just didn't really. And then the whole, like, you knew exactly what was going to happen after you essentially find out that she's losing her powers because of her wish. That was what was taken, obviously. But, like, I was like, that seems real dumb to me. That she has to, we're not really setting up ground rules per se, but also, like, we don't know what her wish was. Like, did she wish to give up being Wonder Woman to be with Steve?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, was that her wish? Like, I'm willing to give up being who I am to be with Steve? Because that would make more sense if that was her wish, because she was losing that ability. Obviously, she was getting weaker. She was getting more vulnerable. But then when she's like, I recant my wish, obviously his consciousness or soul or whatever disappears out of, not Steve's body and goes back to being that dude, which he must have been real confused because all of a sudden he reawakens in his body and complete mayhem is going on around him. I mean, granted, he's back in the same city, luckily for him, and he probably knows where he's at.
At the same time as when he was taken away from that body.
Yeah, a couple days have gone by, and, like, shit has just fucking hit the fan. Like, the biggest amount of shit ever has hit the fan. He's, like, in the midst of it, and people are rioting, and cops are punching people, and, whatever. And, like, it's just, I don't know, it was weird to me. But whatever. I mean, there's some cool action scenes. There's some pretty wonky things in the action scenes. But, whatever. I didn't enjoy the movie as much as I was hoping I was going to. But I mean, whatever. I think it was. I truly think it was a mistake to set it in a time frame like that, and then the story was the thing that let me down the most. Like, I love 80s stuff, but there's no reason to put her in an 80s setting at that time. Much like to Mike's point about the Captain Marvel thing, like, he hates Captain Marvel for
a lot,
many reasons, but I understand that. For storytelling wise, I don't think that should have been set back then either. It should have been set off of Earth completely. Other than a little bit of it to set up her coming back to Earth for whatever reason. But I mean, it just and it let me down. I guess I'll say that. That's
I want
my
to make
issue.
it clear. Like, I'm not saying this movie was great by any stretch. I
don't think anyone's thinking
good.
that.
It's just like, yeah, I was obviously let down too. I was disappointed that it wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. But, like, the thing that got me was, like, the instant, like, ridiculous, internet doing the internet things.
Yeah.
People fucking like, oh, Wonder Woman ruined my Christmas. I was like, really? You fucking retard? This movie ruined your Christmas?
Yeah, I don't agree with any of that.
Was gonna be? Or people saying it was literally the worst superhero movie ever made. I was like, really? Like, in the last 5 years, in the last 2 years,
in the last ever
about any? There's a lot of horseshit fucking movies that I'd rather watch Wonder Woman 1984 100 times before rewatching any of those fucking things.
I can agree with that.
Like I said, and the other thing too is, like, just hearing some of the complaints, and, like, a lot of the complaints make sense. Like I said, it's definitely not my favorite movie. I'm not gonna watch it again anytime soon, like, at all. Like, I have no interest in rewatching it. But hearing some of the internet's complaints on it, it's like I think the fact that most people watched it at home on Christmas made people not pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And then get upset about things that they had no fucking reason to be getting upset about because they didn't actually pay attention to the movie. Like, just stupid shit like that. I really think if the movie was theatrically wide release and people were not on their phones, not with huge family gatherings in their living room while they're getting food, you know what I mean, where they could actually sit and watch the movie, a lot of the complaints wouldn't be there because, like, again, the shit we're saying, like, yeah, the movie's not good. It's just not a good movie, but the movie's not the worst superhero movie ever made by a fucking long shot.
I agree with that.
And I'll even take it back to like modern superhero movies. You know what I mean? Like
there's a couple of Hulk movies that I'd rather not ever see like exist.
There's only one Hulk movie I think that doesn't need to be around, and that's the one with Eric Bana, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, anyways. To Mike's point, though, I said this to Paige, and I actually said it to someone at work, too. If the amount of hate this movie is getting, to Mike's point, if it were only available in theaters, would be a lot less than it is. But because it's so widely available so easily to everybody, it's getting a lot more hate from people who normally wouldn't have gone to see it in theaters because they don't go see these things in theaters. And it just gives them ability to shit on it faster.
When there's a lot of people, there's family get-togethers or Christmas Day. People are together as a family, as big groups, and guarantee you there's a handful of the adults in the room that didn't want to watch it because they don't like superhero movies. But all the other family wanted to watch it, and they're just gonna shit tweet about it while it's going on, which is fine.
They were always gonna shit on it though.
But like, it goes back to like. We've always had a huge issue with critics reviewing movies of genres that they don't like.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking review a movie you're not going to like.
Right. There's no
Don't
point.
watch a movie you're not going to fucking like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you don't like horror movies, you shouldn't be watching horror movies.
Yeah. Don't go back and be like, well, The Exorcist really wasn't that great. You know what I mean? Like, no, fuck off. You don't like scary movies. Don't watch them.
Also, you don't need to go back to, like, a movie that was made before you were born and critique it.
No.
Right. There's no point in that either.
Oh, my God. What was that noise?
What?
Someone just roar?
Background noise.
Roar.
I have a lion.
Anywho, other than that, I can give you Joe's review of it. He hated it.
But Joe needs everything. Like, I knew instantly as I was watching it. I knew as much as I didn't like it. I was like, Cody's gonna like it a little less than I do. Joe's gonna fucking hate this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
But Joe needs every story thing
given to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to be spoon-fed every single thing that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Like, if you're gonna world build, you have to like fucking fit it in perfectly, which is fine. We know that's, but he would tell you that too. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not gonna say no. Like, he knows what kind of movies he likes. That makes sense. Like I said, I think, again, I'm not a huge fan. I, liked it. Like, I liked it. I didn't hate it. I'm not rewatching it, but it wasn't the worst fucking. Dude, some of the shit. Someone was all like, a reviewer on a website that I can't remember, but like a big one. It's not like Ain't It Cool, but something like that in that kind of level. Talked about trying to petition to replace Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman for the upcoming appearances of her. I was like, are you fucking retarded, dude?
Yes. Short answer, yes. Gotta be.
They ain't smart, that's for sure.
Hey, since it's almost New Year's Eve, what was some of the things that you liked this year, media wise, that came out that we may or may not have talked about in the past?
Did you just say it's almost New Year's Eve?
Huh?
Did you say it's almost New Year's Eve?
It's almost New Year's.
Oh, I was like,
I might have said New Year's Eve, but
I was like, bitch, it has been New Year's Eve for a while now.
Cody can't stop Cody, and that's all I know.
I'm just saying.
My bad.
I was confused on what his question was going to be. I get you, though. If it's almost the New Year, so what did I...
Yeah, and when people hear this, it's,
It's going to be the New Year, because
it's a new day.
And yes, it is. Well, I tell you, one thing I didn't like about WWE splitting the New Day up, that's just me.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
It was fucking dumb. For no reason. Plus, people go back and forth all the time. It don't matter what brand you're on. Put them all on all the shows. I don't care. I'm going to watch them anyways. You know what I mean?
That didn't work last time they did it. Because it was just the same, 4 people.
Well, yeah, they're not doing it well. I mean, they don't use their roster the proper way anyways, but that's just, how I look at it.
Well, right now, I kind of give them a slight break right now because the whole pandemic thing, and, they only keep part of the roster at each, because they try to keep the amount of people down.
Of course, yeah.
So, I kind of, I have the same issue as you do, but, even now I'm like, well... Even if they tried to change it, they couldn't right now. So I kind of have to just ride out until they get crowds again.
And I get it. I understand that. But, there's a lot of times they don't use any, NXT is the one that throws me off the most because they, up until just recently, they started doing the whole Thunderdome thing. But they had NXT superstars in their crowd. And it's people you saw wrestling in the ring before the pandemic happened, but now they're not. But yet they're there. But they're not in the ring wrestling. I'm like, you have a lot of just chilling out here that are wrestlers. They could be wrestling. You could make every week a little different. So it's a more of an event when you get to see a Johnny Gargano or a fucking Finn Balor. But no, I see them every week, which I like them. But you do have a lot of wrestlers I could like to
get to know.
You don't want
to see them always.
Yeah, it's just the storylines aren't developed at that point. You're just the same thing over and over again. How many times? I don't get it. Anyhow. Also, on that same thing is we don't get enough Brizongo ever. Even when they got the belts, we didn't get enough.
But that's Dango's fault for not being healthy, though.
Well, I know, but still,
he keeps getting hurt, so they keep
put bionic parts in him already. Anywho,
robot wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, shit, let's do it, man. I love Real Steel. I'm waiting for that to happen in real life.
That would be awesome.
But to answer your question, Mike, of other stuff that's out and about this year, it's hard because hard. The only thing, I can't think of anything new that has really come out this year because a lot of it earlier in the year we had Lock and Key came out and it was awesome, but to me it's not anything new. You know what I mean? It was cool to see it live, but I can't think of anything out this year that we didn't really talk about on the podcast at all. That was something brand new to me. Something it was a new. I don't want to say new experience because they're all the same fucking experience. It's just something you watch or read or listen to or whatever. But it's nothing that I can think of new that came out that I was really blown away this year by. And there are a few things that I've yet to watch, listen to, blow, blow. That I haven't really got the chance to experience. But I mean that's just because. Part of me is kind of lazily burnt out on certain things.
Right.
There's a lot of things I kind of I haven't watched any of the new season of The Expanse, and not because I don't want to. It's just I'm I'll just wait till it's all ready for me to watch, and then I'll watch the whole thing.
I said that about the new season of fucking. God damn it, Golden Compass. Fuck is that? His
Dark Materials? Yeah. Well, you can do that now because the season finale just happened, didn't it?
Did it? I don't know.
I want to say it was on Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday or Sunday, something like that.
Yeah. But it's another one too. I haven't watched anything from this season's yet, and it's one of those things where I'm in a way I complain about binge watching and finishing something really fast, but also my brain's but if you binge watch it, you can get all right now, and then you don't have to worry about it. And I'm yeah, brain, but then I don't have anything else to watch. You'll find something. You'll be fine. And I'm am I gonna be fine though? There's no way I could have done that with The Mandalorian, right? I couldn't avoid spoilers enough for the Mandalorian to be like not willing to murder somebody where they stood.
Nah.
You know, or throw my phone across the room.
Twitter was oddly cool about Mandalorian this year. Like, I didn't notice shit popping off until like the Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like all the Twitter except for like a few outliers and dummies, but like most of it was just like, we're gonna give everyone the weekend, then we're gonna start tweeting out our articles about shit with the spoilers in it and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool this year because I didn't really see, like, I saw everything. You know, I think one episode I waited till Saturday, but everything else I saw that Friday for Mandalorian season 2, and never came across anything though throughout the weekend. I was like, all right, that's cool.
Then you, sir, don't subscribe to what I do on YouTube because, unlike your people you follow on Twitter, YouTube just started ruining shit minutes after the goddamn episode aired, and I was like, how is this possible? How do you already have an episode talking about stuff I would have missed in it with a thumbnail of like the super secret thing they're trying to release in this episode 15 minutes after the show went live on Disney Plus? How is this possible?
Yeah, that's an issue.
Like, how do you have a picture of Boba Fett already in armor before that episode finishes when you see him in the armor? It's like I had to like avoid, either I had to wake up early to watch it before work, or I had to avoid looking at any news until I got home to be able to watch it because I knew
avoiding all of that shit.
Well, thankfully. You're better than me because I can't go a day without reading news and stuff, and so I would be super mad at work. Like I can't fill my in between time with news and filling my brain with nonsense because someone's gonna ruin something for me. You're very irritable. I don't like that. I like things my way, and my way is I know what's going on when it's happening. I don't like to wait for shit.
Fair.
Thought you were going to say your way is the white way. I mean the right way. You know what I meant to say.
I wasn't going to say that. That's racist. No, I like all the colors.
Yeah.
Well, except for white. I actually don't really like white people that much. But that's because I go to Walmart too often now, and that's like the scum of the scum. You know what I mean?
They're the worst.
Yeah, stop going to Walmart, bro.
Yeah, well, I would love to, but, you know, convenience and price. Anyhow. Hey, Taj, one of your Christmas presents is in my trunk still.
Really? Which one?
The Sorting Hat ornament.
Ah, shit. Nice.
It got lost in my sweater in there, apparently. I found it today.
Sweater.
I was like, oh, shit. Taj is without all of his presents. I feel like a scumbag.
Well, the good news is you're not a scumbag.
Yeah. That's good.
I can only say that once a year.
It's true. And I thank you for at least saying it once.
You're welcome, buddy. I care.
I did see a thing, though, speaking of Wonder Woman, I was going to bring up. Apparently, Wonder Woman 3 is being fast-tracked at WB. Or Warner Brothers, I should say, not WB. That's an old TV channel. And I don't know what that actually means other than the fact I think they're just getting it rolling before too long, but I don't know. It's not like they're planning it for next summer or whatever, but like it's probably, you know, we're probably maybe 2 years away from it. But you know, whatever.
You know what the weirdest thing was about this year with everything being like shut down or postponed and like a lot of the big movies just not coming out this year is the like I didn't realize how many of those movies that like I may not have seen, like, but I would have waited until it came out on iTunes. Like, I feel like I've seen everything on iTunes that I want to see for like the last 6 months.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, even like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel and shit. Like, I really want to watch. Like, there's nothing that like kept me busy this year. It's very bizarre, dude. Like, cause it used to be like on Tuesdays. You know, you go to. At some point when you realize it was Tuesday, you go to iTunes and you look at the new movie releases. Yeah. You're like, oh shit, this is out, or oh, this is available to rent now. And now it's like, okay, cool. All this shit that I was never gonna watch anyway is there. That's
I actually did see something on there that I was like, oh, I didn't know that was out already. And then I was like, I don't think I care enough about this.
Yeah.
What was it I saw? Oh, Unhinged, the one with Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
I saw. I was like, "Oh, that's on."
Little theatrical run where they're allowing it, but
yeah.
I was like, "It's weird how much like steam everything loses from like knowing that, like, because had this been a normal year and Unhinged came out and like there's nothing else playing, big next to it, we would have been like, yeah, let's go watch Unhinged.
Exactly.
Because we watch a movie on Sundays, and because it didn't, it came out on iTunes. I was like, I'll get around to it.
Yeah. It's weird what you're willing to go see in a theater, but you're not willing to rent. Well, I say rent.
Or
I
even
don't rent shit,
even if
but...
it came out in theaters and if and I don't put a lot of stock into what other people say, but if something like Unhinged would have come out and had like a crazy big opening weekend, I'd have been like, holy shit, I need to go watch Unhinged. Apparently,
yeah, exactly. It would have been those. Oh, we haven't seen this yet. I have nothing else to see. Let's go watch this or whatever.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bone Tomahawk is on sale for $10. If you haven't seen that fucked up movie, you should go see that. You should watch that on iTunes, or find it somewhere and watch it because that shit's fucked up.
Isn't that where they eat people?
Yeah, and they split that guy over the fire, like threw him his crotch all the way to his forehead.
Gross.
It's a good one. It's a good one. You should check it out. But yeah, no, it'd been pretty shitty on the whole movie front. That Greenland movie came out, apparently. Oh my god, $20 to rent? You're out of your fucking minds.
Yeah, that's the other thing. People are still trying to figure out how to release movies this year. They just...
You ain't gonna do it for fucking $20 for that kind of thing at home. Mm-mm. Nah, dog.
Well, Greenland, to be fair, looked like it was gonna be a nightmare, even in theaters. That looked...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Disaster movies, man. Very, very few work out to be any good at all.
Especially if it's natural disasters. If you would have, now if I find out there's an alien twist in this, like aliens are trying to eradicate us, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Gerard Butler versus a bunch of aliens. I'm down to watch that. But just knowing it's going to be just space anger, just unfortunately our planet's in the wrong spot when these space rocks come flying by. Unfortunate for us.
It's also weird trying to...
But also typical.
Yeah.
True.
It's also weird trying to adjust the fact that now movie stars put out straight to streaming movies.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. Because like I said, I texted you guys, was it last night? I finally watched that movie Heist.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that when it first came out?
No. Wait, hold on.
Well, I remember seeing a trailer for it when it first came out. I was like, oh, that's cool. Fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Batista, and De Niro's obviously got a small part in it. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll watch that eventually. And it was one of those ones that went straight to streaming or straight to wherever at the time because it came out in 2015.
Yeah.
Well, last night we were just scrolling through. We wanted to watch an action movie, and my thing is I'll watch any action movie that's only an hour and a half long. I was like, I'll give it a shot if it's an hour and a half, And this one came right in at an hour and 28 minutes. I was like, perfect, let's watch it. And it was pretty fucking solid. And then I was like, these are all pretty big stars. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a fairly big star. De Niro is obviously fucking De Niro. Batista was on the up at that point. But that movie didn't go in it didn't get a wide release in theaters.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing to adjust for. And especially now after this year, huge blockbuster movies are just gonna go to streaming now. It's such a weird thing. It almost devalues them a little bit. It's your old thought process of well, if it didn't get a theater run, it must not be that good. It's kind of fucked now. You know what I mean? We
right.
can't think like that anymore.
Those C-list movies and all that B-list stuff that all of, 3/4 of Jean-Claude Van Damme's, movies, all of Steven Seagal's.
His whole, second half, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to me also is it's that I'm slightly better than you because I saw this movie already. You don't have to wait for it to come in streaming. I get to go to the theater and see it.
Yeah.
I feel better about myself because I got to see it before you did. That kind of happens.
Yeah, that's a weird way to word it, but yeah, I don't like being told about a movie that's really good. I kind of pisses me off when I miss something.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like if someone is like, "Oh, you never seen this? You gotta see this," and then I watch it and it's fucking great. Like I get mad. I'm like, "Fuck! How did I miss this?"
Yo, you sumbitch. Out loud, you're
I
like,
try to
Phil,
watch
thank you
everything.
for letting me know about it. But in your head, you're like, you know what, you can go fuck yourself right in your butthole because you
Yeah.
are
And then
a dick.
also on the flip side, I want to be the one to save people from movies too. You know what I mean? Like if
You
someone
want to
goes
be the
like,
hero.
"Yeah, man."
You want to either shine a light on something or like, nah, bro, trust me, don't waste your money on it. Wait till, you know, you can see it for free, air quotes, free.
Speaking of saving someone from movies, I was flipping through the channels today because I have satellite again and I can actually flip through channels.
Yeah, they have channels. Yeah.
It's really weird, but I came across. I didn't know what it was. I landed on something and there was like an explosion, so I stopped. I was like, "Ooh,
It's usually where I stop.
what's going on here?" And then
You
about
got me.
two seconds in, I realized what the movie was, and so I wanted to watch it just to see how it aged in my head, and it got even worse than I thought it was before. Huge blockbuster movie, or wanted to be a huge blockbuster movie, came out 10ish years ago, somewhere in that range. Pretty big cast, lots of special effects, major disappointment. Cody, can you think of what it was? And I promise you, whatever you think about it then, I watched about 10 minutes of it yesterday or today. I can't remember. And it's even fucking worse. Can you guess?
Give me one person who's in it.
Oh. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
10 years ago? Was it one of those fucking G.I. Joe movies?
Yeah.
Oh, was it Rise of
The
Cobra?
first G.I. Joe. Ooh.
Yeah, those movies.
Ooh. Ooh. Dude. It
Yeah.
made me, I was like, I'm going to go watch Wonder Woman. I can't. 1984. I'm going to go rewatch Wonder Woman 1984 right now just to wash this taste out my mouth. Dude, it was so rough, man.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
There's this part where Channing Tatum like shot a bad guy, and they're like, and they run away, and he had to like, I don't know, like use an iPad to make some girl come back to life. I don't know. It's real out of context. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but she wakes up, and they zoom in on his face, and like they're on like a ship, and it's like shaking, and there's sparks flying and smoke everywhere, and it like zooms in on his face. He's like, "I'm gonna get you out of here." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
Fuck you, Magic Mike. He was Magic Mike, right? I never saw those movies.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was Magic Mike.
Okay, I know he's in it. Is he actually technically Magic Mike?
He had the
Yeah.
magic.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was Matthew McConaughey's character, Joe Manganiello, or fucking what's his name, but
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash. I forgot his dick was in it too.
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash plays Spectacular Sam.
And then I realized last night too, watching Heist and I Am Raph, that I kind of love, like, there's a special place in my heart for any movie where somebody opens up a briefcase and they have multiple passports and a bunch of money.
Fair
Like,
enough.
All right.
that shit's fucking dope, dude.
You're like, I
like
want to
any
be there
movie-
one day.
Yeah, man. And I'm not saying they're all good, but I'm gonna give that movie a shot. If it's only an hour and a half, and he has multiple passports and different country monies and bundles in a bag or a briefcase, I'm gonna watch it.
Different countries' monies.
Yeah.
I think I just
So you
found
love,
out
like all the Bourne movies you're in.
that just named this episode, by the way.
Different monies.
Different countries' monies. Hold on, I'm gonna make a note so I remember.
Write it down.
I'm gonna send a
That was
text.
an I Am Raph, by the way, which wasn't good. Like, don't watch it. It's not fun.
Did you end up watching Fat Man, by the way?
No, not yet.
God damn it! It's on sale right now
I
for
didn't
$10.
wanna watch it in December because of my stunts Christmas
Oh, that's right.
movies.
Are you watching all your Christmas movies? Was it 25th or?
25 days. We knocked them all out. One day at a time. We were real fucking,
Methodical about that shit?
yeah. It was like around 18, 19. I was like, fuck, man.
It's starting to hurt.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this next year. I might turn it into 5 days of Christmas movies.
That makes sense, though. Paige and I gave up like 7 or 8 days in, maybe 9 days in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did
I
not
thought
do
you went
good.
for the whole gusto.
We were going to, and then like things got in the way, like
Sucks.
that got in the way, video games got in the way, not sitting on our asses all the time got in the way. Little things like that.
Yeah, work.
Yeah, work
It's
didn't
hard.
really
It's
help
weird.
out at all.
You think in your head, I have enough time to watch a movie every night, but
Yeah.
no, you don't always have time to watch
No.
a movie.
No, that was other
You
shit
only
going
have
on.
time to watch like an episode of something and then go to bed.
Yeah, it's not one of those things we avoid watching it and ended up watching like 5 hours of YouTube. We were like, oh, I don't really want to watch a movie right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to invest in that much time when I'd rather be able to do someone or something else. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But anyways, yeah, that's whatever. You know,
It's whatever.
New Year, same problems. You know, same what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna ask if anyone has resolutions because fuck that nonsense.
I don't ever make resolutions.
I never
Makes
keep
sense.
them. So why make them? Know what I mean?
Seriously, I'll end up breaking them. What's the point?
I like it when people make resolutions and then they feel bad about themselves for breaking them, and then I'm like, yeah, it's just how I feel all the time.
Yo, welcome to my world, fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Nah. I was like, nah. Anybody else got anything to talk about?
Oh, man, I got nothing.
I had a whole bunch of shit. Oh, like Sony's announcement about their games to TV shit.
Yep.
What are your guesses? Because they didn't really release a lineup.
Well,
Take
I
out
don't-
the stuff we already know,
I mean, we already know they're doing an Uncharted movie.
right? And we already know they're doing a Last of Us TV show.
Yeah, Last of Us TV show. We know. Well, it's not. I can't say that's not a Sony title. I was gonna say we know they're doing a Metal Gear Solid. That's not Sony. That's Konami and shit. Trying to think of other stuff. I mean, they can try a God of War movie, but
I don't think that'll work very well.
yeah, ain't good. They already have Ratchet and
if
Clank.
they could execute on it, it would be awesome. I don't think they can execute on it.
No, because you would lose the giantness of that title. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have the stupid gore. You wouldn't have like the gratuitous violence and/or sex.
Right.
I don't know what else. What other titles they have that they could do? They already ruined Resident Evil. They're ruining Monster Hunter now. I mean, they could reboot Resident Evil, make it good, but who knows? That's going to be a thing. Actually, it's not even Sony. I can't even say that. It's not even Sony anymore. That's other shit. I'm trying to think of other Sony titles only. Resistance. They could do a TV show or something like that. That's fun ones. Aliens and blowing shit up.
Blowing shit up.
What else do they have?
I don't see. That's what's difficult, I suppose, is what's proprietarily owned by them that they can spin.
I mean, fuck, and also look at this. Like, Microsoft can't even get fucking Halo TV show made properly.
I don't want to talk about it. It's very sore
I
subject.
mean, at least it's right now. We know it's going. That we've seen
It's
Pablo.
going,
What's his
but
face?
where is it going? I mean,
it's going. It's going to Showtime. We already know that.
Yeah, but they've been doing shit like this for years.
Yeah, I know, but at least we know it's going on. But I mean, you look at that. Like, Microsoft's a giant company, and they can't get fucking Halo made properly. But you think Sony's gonna be able to fucking do a God of War TV show? You're out of your fucking mind. Last of Us. I mean, that's just at this point they're just trying to capture the whole fucking Walking
shit.
Dead thing. You know what I mean? Like that's on its way out anyways. Oh, actually, Mike, I don't know if Taj watches this or not. Did you see the Superman Lois trailer?
No.
Okay. Do it when you're sober. Because I thought I was high when I watched it.
I don't like the way you said that, but okay.
Well, watch it and you'll understand what I mean. Is like remember Lois and Clark?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Dean.
Yeah, Dean Cain and fucking what's her balls?
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher. Terry Hatcher. Jesus,
Hot.
Terry Hatcher. Remember how like fun campy that was?
Yeah,
Okay.
fun can't be at the time, but
Yeah.
rough now. Yeah,
If you watch it now, you're like, oh, I was either stupid, dumb, and/or retarded when I was younger. But it's one of those things like we didn't have for TV stuff. You didn't have spectacular TV programs back then. You had you had fun ones. Just watch that trailer and let me know if I don't know, something's wrong either with my brain or that trailer.
Send me a link because I'm guessing it's in your.
Oh, I got you, baby boo. I just know that, like, I seen this article where someone's like, "Oh, HBO Max is gonna ruin the Arrowverse." First off, you kill Oliver Queen off in your season finale. Spoiler: you're ruining the Arrowverse. And the Flash is way out of ideas. And when you have your tentpole show being DC, what's that? The ensemble show they have where they do different timelines. Legends of Tomorrow. When that's your tentpole show, you're in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That one got rough.
Yeah, real bad. Prepare for it. Incoming link to said trailer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just watch that when we're not recording, so I don't have to pay for rights for that audio. And you let me know. I mean, just give it a look. Let me know what you think. Just text me and just help me know that I'm not dumb or something. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood to watch that or something. I don't know. I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is happening in this show? But I digress. That's all I got. Anybody else got anything for wrapping up 2020 / beginning 2021? Because this is technically coming out the first of the year.
Nope.
No from Taj. I thought Mike froze for a second. He's like,
nah, man.
Mid word.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, that's it for this year's, or the beginning of this year. I keep saying the end of the year. We're recording at the end of the year. It's technically coming out at the beginning of the year. So welcome to a new year, fuckers. And I would just say this. Comes naturally, we are.
Mike.
I'm Cody, and again, we were joined by...
Taj.
And like we always say at the end of this, you fuckers just came naturally.
Pew, 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 pew.